Guys, what's going on? Blossoms back. Welcome back to the episode of Sound Drive. We're going to start out today's video with a quick little update because in the past couple of days we were talking about the fast circuit breakdown. I did a couple of Hot Wheels videos and we got a couple of legendaries as well, and I want to continue with that because we got ourselves another legendary. This one I didn't unpack. It was indeed the prize car for the Chevrolet Corvette C6. I think a couple people, I was live streaming about 3 days ago, 3 days ago, and people were asking, oh, like, did you get the Corvette, this and that. I mean, I answered on the stream, but I guess I'll just say it here. I got it, and as always in normal tradition, I will showcase to you what I use to win the Tri-Series prize car. I gotta say, this was an easy bracket, and it's about time because I don't think I've had an easy bracket for like at least 2 months at this point. So yeah, it was nice to get a tier 1. I've not gotten a tier 1 in quite some time, and I'm gonna showcase to you what my hand was. I had good cars. I had good cars. It's just that what made it easy was, you know, I didn't need to upgrade them. So I had my Stelvio Quadrifoglio, which, as you can see, only has one upgrade. It's 121 or you know 363, however way you want to call it. So you know it was just there to beat other Stelvios that were just 1 star. So we had that. This was a huge one for me. The Lamborghini Lanzador has now won me 2 whopping prize cars. Right, this one I think it was also the what was the other car? I can't remember, but it was I feel like it was a Ford Supervan. I feel like it was a Ford Supervan, something along those lines. I pulled this car back in November. I've owned it for 189 days. It has won me at least 2 Tri-Series prize cars now. This thing is wonderful. Probably one of those where I'm just like, yeah, like I can see myself maxing this and it'll be a very useful car in the long term. But also at the same time, I don't like how it looks and I don't like it. So there's that. So those are the 2 legends. I was using the F-Pace SVR. I had the Jaguar F-Pace SVR. So when I started, I was actually using this, but I actually switched it out because it's actually kind of terrible. So yeah, the Jaguar I-Pace was another car that I was using. A lot of people had this car 323, and that was kind of like their Achilles heel, or one of 2. You know, because the 233 version was better for the finals. It's overall just better. And then the last one is the Moab. Now this was the real difference here because I've got 2 Moabs fully upgraded. One is 323, but this is 233. And if you did anything in the finals, you would know that the 233 version is better than the 323. The only time the 323 was winning is if you got the track set with double hill climb, which was my weakest track set to be fair, but every other single track set that the 233 version was winning. And I don't think a lot of people knew about that because there were a lot of people in my bracket that had a 323 version. So like they gave me a lot of wins as well because they kind of saw my car as, oh, it's weak, it's 233, I'm gonna beat it. And then they find out, oh wait, no, I'm not gonna beat it. And then they get scared, you know. So this is a good one. This is a very good one. The Hyundai Moab is a great one. And like I said, this was the initial hand, but the F-Pace was terrible because it was losing on things like the G-Force and car park and stuff like that to the Hyundai Kona M. So in the end, I just used this. Yes, an ultra rare again, winning me a Tri-Series prize car. Not only that, but I was tier 1. I was 3rd. And the thing was, I think almost everyone in my bracket was using a Hyundai Kona M. And I think everyone just kind of, because the thing is, the brackets, right? It's only as good as the person in first place, right? So if the person in first place is not gonna give a shit to go and max out an SVR, even if he has it, then the person in second is not gonna do the same, you know, especially when it comes to a car like this. Like, is getting first place that important that you want to go and max out an F-Pace SVR or even upgrade this thing if you can just use an ultra rare? So a lot of people in my bracket, they kind of just like, you know, held hands and saying kumbaya. They're like, all right, we're not gonna touch it. We're just gonna use the Kona anyway. So yeah, this is the hand that I was using ultimately. And yeah, got the Corvette C6. So that was a pretty, well, not pretty, it was a very chill final, actually. I didn't lose any sleep at all, only spent like 3 epics, and that was only to upgrade the Stelvio once. And I'm kind of sad because, you know, now we have an Alfa Romeo event, and I can't even use the Stelvio. So I put 3 epics into that thing, and I can't even use it for an Alfa Romeo event. Main thing is because, you know, it's all surface tires, and there's no off-road in the track sets mainly, but also the RQ is very low, and if I wanted to use some legendaries, I'm always going to be using my pro car, and I'm always going to be using my 177, which honestly this car is fantastic. I use it a decent amount in multiplayer events and stuff like that. I mean, 580 races, 690 194 days. It's very rare for me now to get a car that has more races than days owned, just because I have so many cars in my garage now. But I would say that this is pretty well used, and I would consider upgrading it again for this event. You know, just for the hell of it. Also just because I didn't spend anything in the final, so I have like fuse material lying around. I mean, obviously the smart way to go about things is not to spend anything at all. Just wait for the next Tri-Series, which is going to be in about a month, because the next thing coming up is whatchamacallit, the Apex. And we'll talk about that as well. So Apex is coming back. Basically, it's just a GT series, but it's now called the Apex series or whatever it is. I mean, ultimately, it's just something to toot the horns of the free-to-play player base. The Apex thing, in my opinion, is just really... Okay, it's not as boring as a GT series. I really did not enjoy the GT series whatsoever. I thought that was just absolutely terrible, so that wasn't fun. The Apex is a little bit better because it focuses more on garage building, for example. So you have to, like, for the racing objectives, they tell you that, oh, you need to go and upgrade, you know, so-and-so car, this and that and the third and stuff. It can be annoying depending what the requirements are. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. This time it's going to be German Renaissance, so I think it's going to be a little bit more tedious. Because here's a question that I want to ask you, right? So when you have an Apex series, or when you have anything that adds on to upgrading cars in the racing objective. So for example, this one is going to be 1990 to 2009 German Renaissance and American Overdrive. And when the racing objectives come around, they're going to be like, oh yeah, you got to go and max out, like, you know, 10 1990 to 2009 German Renaissance rares and above. Look, if you've been playing the game for as long as I have, you know, and you already have most German Renaissance low-end cars fully upgraded, what do you do for the racing objectives? Are you just going to go and max a dupe, or are you going to sell a max variant, collect a stock duplicate variant, and go and max the same thing again, right? So what do you do in that scenario? That's the question, and that's something that I need to ask myself as well. It's just like, wow, I've already upgraded a Volkswagen Polo. I didn't have fun maxing it out the first time, and now I have to go and max it again, you know, something like that. So yeah, that's the only thing, but it's a little nitpicky, and that's why I don't really like the Apex stuff. Also, you know, when you have an Apex event, it doesn't have the same thrill as a Tri-Series. You know, Tri-Series, I love it and hate it at the same time. It's a lot of fun, it's also a lot of stress. Apex just feels a little bit too easy. I don't know, it feels a bit too simple, a little bit too doable. But then again, like I said, the Apex stuff, that's not made for players like me. That's made for more of the free-to-play stuff. Because every time I see on Facebook, when Hutch posts a Tri-Series post, there's always like 5 comments saying, oh, just another whale finals where if I don't spend any money, I'm not gonna get anything. I mean, they're not wrong. But I gotta say, when I read those complaints, I kind of roll my eyes at this point. But yeah, the Apex stuff is coming up, and since we're talking about that, let's showcase. Obviously, I'm gonna review the pack, but I'll only review the pack when the pack comes around. So, you know, there's no point reviewing something when the pack isn't in the store yet. But if I remember correctly, it should be 1990 to 2009. It doesn't stress in the posts that it is non-prize cars only, okay? So, but I'm gonna assume that, okay? It's fair to assume that. So although it doesn't state that you can only use non-prize cars, I'm just gonna assume that that's what they meant. They probably just left it out. I'm not gonna think that they're gonna let us use prize cars for this. It's American Overdrive. It's also, whatchamacallit, not Enter the Black Forest, German Renaissance. And I do like, you know, I like the fact that they are highlighting an old update. I mean, that is kind of nice, right? You know, I feel like everything that we get in top drives nowadays is always about the newest car or anything like that. And people that played a long time ago with these older cars, they don't get awarded for their loyalty. I guess there's no other way to put it. Like, there's no use for these older cars. So I kind of like it when they bring an older tag in. But it always seems like when it's an older tag, it's almost always German Renaissance. I don't know, I'm just nitpicking at this point. But yeah, all cars. So this is basically what we're working with. If we need to use those all-surface tire BMW X6s, I'm actually screwed. But then again, we have the roof Dakara. So if look, I feel like if the yeah, I mean, okay, if it's a test bowl gravel that they put in the challenge, the Dakara is gonna be better. If it's gonna be snow, dirt, or sand, the Borrego is gonna be better because it's off-road tires. So it's kind of hard for me to justify how useful the X6 is gonna be. Because if you need to use a dragster, the Dakar is probably better. Because although this is really bad 0 to 60, it has really good MRA. and the Borrego is just better for anything non-gravel, non-drag. So yeah, anyway, those are the cars that you're going to be working with for the challenge finals. Not for the multiplayer events, but for the actual finals themselves. The car pool is pretty small, I would say. Pretty small. I got the RT12 and the CTR3, so those two are going to be relatively useful. All the roofs are coming back to root. The R compressor as well, don't have that. Maybe the CTSV, this might be a useful car, mainly because it's medium ground clearance. Is that a roll cage in there that I see? But anyway, yeah, this is medium ground clearance. There's not a lot of medium ground clearance cars that you can use. If I just filtered it by car attributes, because there's going to be a gatekeeper car, right? So medium and high. Yeah, that CTSV might be very useful for our city streets. But then again, you know, if they're leaning about it, then the Lumina will be a car that you can use as well. Maybe Lumina and CTS. If they want to be really, really annoying, they could do an event or a level in the challenge where it's like city streets medium, and you have to beat a maxed out Lumina, like a 233 Lumina. So the only way you would beat it is using a CTSV, or perhaps something like an upgraded X6 or maybe even a Dakara, okay? Yeah, you would have to fully upgrade the Dakara probably to beat a fully upgraded Lumina, because these two cars are almost identical, 4880, 4881, so that's not gonna be, that's not gonna be fun. That's not gonna be fun, I'll put it that way. But yeah, so that CTSV might be useful. I can see that being a gatekeeper, perhaps. But then again, this is all speculation, guys. This is all speculation. We don't know if that is going to be true or not. So yeah, that's going to be the one for the next Lamborghini STO. I see a lot of people roasting the Lamborghini STO. I'll be honest, I like to roast my Lambos, but I stand by this one. I think it's pretty good. As far as rear-wheel drive Lamborghinis go, that's the best one that you can get, sir. So honestly, I ain't mad about it. So I'm going to go by Lambo, filter. Where's the car attributes, rear-wheel drive? There you go. It's the best one. It's the best handling. Lowest 0 to 60. The highest handling. I just don't think it's going to be that bad. I think the MRA is not going to be amazing. Probably, I want to guess 89.9. 89.9, maybe low 90s, something like that. Maybe 100. Nah, I don't think it's 100, honestly. But I just feel like it's going to be in that range. It's just going to be a track kind of car, with performance tires as well. So I don't think it's that bad of a price car. I could honestly see that being a Tri-Series, but they decided to do the Apex. And I don't know if this is going to be the next norm going into top drives. So Tri-Series at the start of every month, or I guess they're going to alternate, right? Tri-Series, Apex, Tri-Series, Apex. Yeah, that's kind of sad because I do like the Tri-Series, but then again, at least I have less stress on my plate. So yeah, so that's the next prize car. That's pretty cool. I want to join into comedians and vans getting tea. This is probably some kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Reference to some kind of pop culture event, perhaps, but I wouldn't know. So what am I using here? I totally forget. I think I'm using an RQ48, right? Yeah, the 48 FPV F6 Tornado, whatever it is, and then the Ute. So this is the hand that I'm using. Let's see how far we can get. 2 city street mediums here. I'm gonna go 1, so that's going to be a win. That's going to be probably a win. City Street small, I'm actually not sure about that. Let's have a look. And then we win Twisty Road as well. The Super Van, I mean, I wanted to succeed, but there are no dragsters here. Oh, it loses. There you go, 3684. I do have this car. I recently unpacked this about a week ago. I do want to max it. I think it's really cool, but I have no reason to. I have absolutely no reason to. Like the previous final that we just had for the Corvette C6, I think is the closest that we will ever get to having that Range Rover be useful. I can't see that car being useful anywhere else, but I'll keep it around because I think it's cool, and I love pulling myself a car that used to be a legendary. I think it's really, really sick to have something like that in the garage, something that doesn't have that legacy rarity, something that is a true blue epic that used to be a legend. I think that's cool. I do want to max a car like that. And I think I did. It was the Murcielago of all things. It was a Lamborghini. I think it was for Sarah's collection, or was it Hugo's collection, or one of the other collections. But yeah, the Lamborghini Murcielago Roadster. That used to be a legend, and it became an epic, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go upgrade that. You know, I'm gonna go upgrade that. That's gonna be fun. Okay, let's see what else. This is medium, and this is medium. That's medium too, actually. And then we've got medium and medium. There you go. And then Monaco. Okay. I-Pace, I can see it being useful, especially on this one track set, but it might be a little bit too expensive in other circumstances. That's not medium. Never mind. That is a low ground clearance car. We still want that. That's my fault. Whenever I see a Holden Ute, I'm just like, I'm gonna assume that it's medium. But yeah, I gotta remind myself that isn't necessarily the case all the time. And here we go with another track set of all the medium ground clearance cars. I'm gonna put the lows together, okay? So there you go, low and low. And then we've got medium, that's surely that's low. Yeah, okay, and then we win that too. Great! I mean, it's kind of funny because you feel like this is an event for, you know, those epic prize, you know, Ford super vans, but it's not. So you can only use one. And, you know, if you can use the legend, you're going to use the legend. So those epics, I don't think this is an event for them. If there were maybe less medium ground clearance cars, then maybe it would be more useful for these, but yeah, oh well. Here's another one. Let's go. We're going to get a win against the Epic. We're going to lose. No, we win that, and we win that. So that's 3 win conditions. We lose this, and we lose that. That's fine. 3 wins. That's all we need. Round 1. Let's go. Fast circuit. 100 points. 143. Nice. 258 to 118. Can we go 5-0? I mean, you know, 5-0 for today. Obviously, my tally's a little bit different. Yes, I think we can, because that was the last race. So we're 13-4 in total, so that's pretty cool as well. Look, usually on these gameplay days, I would love to open a carbon, but there genuinely isn't a good carbon fiber offer in the store right now, and I don't want to waste my gold like that. So what I will do is I will open a 3 times the rank pack with my tokens. I do that from time to time, and I guess we're gonna do it now. So where is it? There you go, 188. I'm slowly getting this to 200 coins, but it always seems like I open it 3 times and it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We'll get to 200 eventually. I don't think a Mercedes update is coming out anytime soon anyway. That's what I'm saving all the tokens for. When a Mercedes update comes, then I will open every single one of them. But for now, we're just going to open one just because I don't want to open a carbon fiber today. And I don't have any free carbon fibers to redeem. So yeah, it's kind of that dry period where you finish your Filberto's when you finish your collection tag and you finish your Veterans Challenge and you have nothing to open. So, you know, there are no carbon fibers on offer. Here we go. Mazda 3, BMW 328. We've got a Saturn IX Redline. The last time we did this, we got an Epic. I think it was like a Chevy Malibu or something like that. Okay, so let's see what we get. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Nothing. I don't know why I was expecting something above a Super. This is a 3 times ceramic pack after all. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today. So yeah, new prize car acquired. We're getting ready for the next one. Let me know down in the comments below if you're going to be going for the Lamborghini STO or not. Hope you guys have a great day. Stay safe, wash your hands, and blossom out. Peace.
Bro, this song just makes me so happy.
Me too.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Imagine being Asian in the 50s, looking nifty, leather jacket, looking sleek, look like Presley, look so deadly. Got a jukebox back at home, feeling jazzy, turn it on and play it slow, like the movies with the ladies.
They so fine.
Sit back, relax in my Bonneville Pontiac. Hold tight all night, cruise to Jacksonville
Atlantic.
Blonde hair, don't care, look like Leslie Brooks. Pin up girls everywhere with the drop dead look. Swing it side to side